Hello everyone, my name is Orlando Escobar and today I'm going to talk about my ongoing master's degree project in a very brief 5-minute video. So my project is called Dynamics of the Early Stages of Plant Community in a Colombian Caribbean Tropical Dry Forest. So let's start talking about the tropical dry forest, which is a very seasonal ecosystem. Um, this climatic seasonality affects the plant phenology, and also the tropical dry forest. It's very endangered in Colombia, which about 8% of its original station left preserved. Um, in any forest, we can classify the plants according to its development phase. So we have the young plant community, which includes seedlings, tiny plants that still depends on seed reserves, and juveniles, which can sustain its growth by themselves. And of course, the standing adult vegetation, which are trees, shrubs, lianas, and vines and herbs. So what do we know about the young plant demographics in tropical dry forest so far? We know that the new recruitment starts with seed germination during the early rainy season, and then growth occurs mainly in the rainy season, according to some studies. This leads to my research question, which is how the moment of the year, the seasonality, and how the environmental variables that change with this seasonality, like rain, soil moisture, temperature, and leaf area index, how do they affect the young plant community dynamics in terms of composition similarity between young plants and adult plants, the recruitment and mortality rates, and the growth rates. So this project was developed at Cartagena Botanical Garden in a 1 hectare permanent plot. In each of the 25 subplots in which this plot is divided, I located a 4 square meter quadrant. I took information about the taxonomic ID, the height, the location, and the phytosanitary status of the young plants. This was done every 3 months since August 2021. So by the date, I have done 4 censuses. I also took information about precipitation, soil moisture, and temperature with the help of 6 climatic sensors. And I also took hemispheric pictures to see how the light penetration changes between censuses. So what do we got? In regarding composition similarity, with the help of an ANOSIM analysis, between adults, juveniles, and seedlings, the similarity was higher during the mid-dry season and lower during the mid-rainy and the dry rainy season transition. Surprisingly, with juveniles and seedlings, the similarity was higher during the early rainy season. Regarding demographic dynamics, the mortality rate was higher during the rainy to dry season, and the recruitment rate was higher during the early rainy season. In terms of number of individuals, it was lower during the mid-dry season, and it reached its highest amount in the early rainy season. So starting in mid-rainy season, it showed a constant decrease until the mid-dry season. Talking about the correlation between climatic variables, in general, it showed really low correlation, especially between key variables, as we will see in conclusions. The canopy openness in terms of light changes was significantly higher during the dry season. The leaf area index was significantly lower during the dry season. That means in dry season, more light can penetrate into the soil of the forest because of the fall of the leaves. And surprisingly, the growth rates in terms of height and leaf number, both of them were almost 0. So in conclusion, there was a higher similarity of young plants and adult vegetation during the dry season. This could indicate that seasonality could be acting as a filter of a species. That's one of my hypotheses. There was a greater number of young plants individuals at the beginning of rainy season and a lower number when the dry season arrives. There was a higher recruitment during the early rainy season and a higher mortality during the dry season. There was a low correlation between key variables that change according to the seasonality, like soil moisture and precipitation, because temperature was fairly constant through all the censuses. The average net community growth was close to zero. That was very surprising. And in general, I believe that I need to do more censuses so I can build a quantitative model which relates demographics and environmental variables. So thank you so much, guys, and I hope to see you in person at the ATBC. So bye-bye.